Hey everyone, welcome back to Anime Dreams. Today, we're diving into What If Naruko Had Susanoo? Part 2. We'll explore the possibilities, battle scenarios, and what this power could mean in the Naruto universe. Disclaimer, the content on this channel is for entertainment and discussion purposes only. I do not own any of the anime footage used in my videos. All rights and credits go to their respective creators and copyright holders. Alright, let's get into it. 2 years later. Konohagakure had grown into a vast and well-known village, regarded by many as one of the strongest ninja villages in the world. The leader of the village was Minato Namikaze, celebrated as the fastest ninja alive. On one of the village's private training grounds, a group of people had gathered to observe the future leaders of Konoha in training. This group consisted of the heads of various clans and the parents of the young ninjas. Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage and head of the Namikaze clan, had bright blue eyes and spiky blonde hair. He wore jaw-length bangs framing either side of his face. His attire included the standard Konoha uniform with a green flak jacket, blue forehead protector, and blue sandals. Over this, he wore a short-sleeved white haori, fastened at the front with a thin orange rope. The haori was adorned with red flame-like motifs along the edges, with the kanji for fourth Hokage inscribed vertically on the back. Next to Minato was his elegant wife, Kushina Uzumaki, head of the Uzumaki clan. She had fair skin, violet eyes, and long fiery red hair that cascaded down her back, a common trait among her clan. She wore a blue forehead protector with her hair tied in a high ponytail, strands framing her face. Her attire consisted of a standard Konoha flak jacket over a black short-sleeved shirt and fitted black pants. Fugaku Uchiha, head of the Uchiha clan, had shoulder-length black hair and onyx-colored eyes. He wore a simple kimono with gray pants, marked with the Uchiha clan symbol on the back. His wife, Mikoto Uchiha, had long, straight black hair with framing bangs and dark eyes. She wore a dark purple blouse with a red plum skirt and a light yellow apron over it. Their son, Itachi Uchiha, had onyx eyes with pronounced under-eye markings and jet black hair pulled into a low ponytail. Center-parted bangs framed his face. His attire consisted of a black shirt with the Uchiha clan emblem on the back, tan pants with a weapons pouch, ankle bandages, and black sandals. Hiyashi Hyuga, head of the Hyuga clan, had long black hair and the distinctive featureless white eyes of his clan. He wore traditional loose-fitting robes with a long brown haori. Shikaku Nara, head of the Nara clan, had dark hair tied in a spiky ponytail, dark eyes, 2 small facial scars, and a goatee. He wore a standard Jonin flak jacket. Sume Inuzuka, head of the Inuzuka clan, had long, untamed brown hair and the clan's characteristic fang-like markings on her cheeks. She wore the standard Konoha ninja uniform, including a flak jacket and black suit, with bandages wrapped around her legs. Shibi Aburame, head of the Aburame clan, had short, spiky black hair, a mustache, and dark glasses. He carried a gourd on his back, used to hold the clan's insects, and wore a high-collared outfit. Mebuki Haruno, head of the Haruno clan, was fair-skinned with shoulder-length blonde hair and green eyes. She wore a white dress adorned with red circular designs on the front and back. Choza Akimichi, head of the Akimichi clan, was tall with long red hair and purple cheek markings, wearing a samurai-inspired black outfit with armor featuring the kanji for food. Inoiki Yamanaka, head of the Yamanaka clan, had long ash blonde hair styled spiky on top and tied in a ponytail, with blue-green eyes and strong facial features. He wore the standard Konoha interrogation unit uniform, including a long black overcoat. Not all minor clan heads were present. Several jonin watched from a distance. The young genin preparing for the upcoming Chunin exams were putting their skills to the test. Teams sparred against each other, practicing strategies and honing their techniques. Kumagakure, village hidden by clouds, had been sending scouts near the Land of Fire's territory, and relations had grown tense. An ambassador from Kumo had visited seeking an alliance, which the council and Minato had accepted. Iwaigakure, village hidden by rocks, ninjas had also caused disruptions on missions, as the village held old grievances against Konoha. Both villages intended to observe the Chunin exams to gauge the strength of Konoha's young ninja. Among the trainers, Kurenai Yuhi watched her team, Shino Aburame, Kiba Inuzuka, and Hinata Hyuga, engage with other teams. Kurenai, fair-skinned and slender, had long black hair reaching her upper back and distinctive red eyes. She wore a Konoha forehead protector, shinobi sandals, and bandages on her hands and upper thighs. Shino Aburame, heir of the Aburame clan, had dark, bushy hair and narrow eyes. He wore dark sunglasses and the clan's signature sea green jacket with a high collar. Kiba Inuzuka, heir of the Inuzuka clan, had messy brown hair, vertical slit pupils, pronounced canine teeth, and the clan's red cheek markings. He wore a fur-lined hooded coat and gray pants. Hinata Hyuga, heir of the Hyuga clan, had dark blue hair and the customary featureless eyes of her clan. She wore a cream-colored hooded jacket with a fire symbol on the sleeves, navy blue pants, and her Konoha forehead protector around her neck. Next to Kurenai, her partner Asuma Sarutobi observed his team, Choji Akimichi, Ino Yamanaka, and Shikamaru Nara. Asuma, tall with short spiky black hair and brown eyes, wore the standard Konoha uniform, a flak jacket, and a sash bearing the kanji for fire. Choji Akimichi, heir of the Akimichi clan, had spiky brown hair, cheek swirl marks, and a robust physique. He wore black shorts, a long white scarf, and a short-sleeved green haori over a light green shirt. Ino Yamanaka, heir of the Yamanaka clan, had fair skin, long pale blonde hair tied in a high ponytail, and blue eyes. She wore a purple vest with a raised collar, a purple apron-style skirt, and elbow and leg coverings, with her forehead protector around her waist. Shikamaru Nara, heir of the Nara clan, had shoulder-length black hair and a spiky ponytail and narrow brown eyes. He wore a green-lined mesh shirt under a short gray jacket with a symbol on the back, brown pants, and blue sandals. The training ground buzzed with energy as the young ninjas demonstrated their dedication and skill, preparing for the challenges ahead. Next to Asuma was Might Guy, enthusiastically praising the youthfulness and energy of his students, Tenten, Neji Hyuga, and Rock Lee. Guy was a tall, well-built man with prominent cheekbones, thick eyebrows, and black hair cut in a bowl style. He wore a green jumpsuit, orange striped leg warmers, and the standard Konoha flak jacket. His forehead protector was fastened around his waist like a belt. Tenten was an exceptional weapons specialist for her age. She had black hair and dark brown eyes, wearing her hair in Chinese-style buns with short fringe bangs resting over her forehead protector. Her attire included a pink sleeveless blouse with red trimmings and yellow buttons, dark green pants, a pouch strapped to her thigh, and standard blue ninja sandals. Neji Hyuga, a prodigy of the Hyuga clan, had long dark brown hair and striking white eyes. He wore a black forehead protector snugly across his brow, a khaki shirt over a dull blue top with mesh armor underneath, dark brown shorts, and blue shinobi sandals. Bandages were wrapped around his right arm, chest, and leg for support. Rock Lee, a promising taijutsu fighter, had very thick eyebrows and large rounded black eyes. His hair was styled in a bowl cut similar to Guy's. He wore a green jumpsuit with orange leg warmers and a red forehead protector tied as a belt. Bandages were wrapped around his arms, ending near the elbows. Standing near Might Guy was his eternal rival Kakashi Hatake, quietly giggling while reading an orange-covered book, though one of his eyes remained on his team, Sakura Haruno, Mito Uzumaki Namikaze, and Mina Uzumaki Namikaze. Kakashi was a fit, relatively tall shinobi with spiky silver hair and dark gray eyes. He wore a mask covering his nose and lower face, a Konoha flak jacket, dark blue pants, a long-sleeve shirt, and shorter fingerless gloves with metal plates on the back. Sakura Haruno, from the Haruno clan and resembling Tsunade Senju, had bright pink hair, large green eyes, fair skin, and a prominent forehead. She wore a red top, black gloves, low-heel calf-high boots, black shorts beneath a short pink skirt, and pink elbow protectors. She also carried a small blade above her medical pouch. Mito Uzumaki Namikaze, heir of the Uzumaki clan, had a round face framed by natural red hair. She wore a sleeveless yellow kimono-style blouse closed with a green obi over a short-sleeved mesh shirt, dark blue shorts, and brown shinobi sandals. Mina Uzumaki Namikaze, heir of the Namikaze clan, had a similar appearance to Mito, with the only difference being her blonde hair. She wore an identical outfit. The only Jounin sensei not in the small group was Itachi Uchiha, standing beside his parents with his Sharingan activated as he observed his team, Sarin Uchiha, Menma Uzumaki Namikaze, and Sasuke Uchiha. Sarin Uchiha was one of the youngest Uchiha to awaken both the Sharingan and Mangekyo Sharingan. Her Mangekyo Sharingan resembled a three-petal flower, much like her mother Naori Uchiha's. She had long wavy dark brown hair, cropped bangs over her forehead protector, and wore the Uchiha mantle with the clan crest on the back. 2 swords were strapped to her left hip by multiple bandages. Sarin modeled herself after her mother's appearance and demeanor. Menma Uzumaki Namikaze had tremendous chakra control, even surpassing his siblings. He resembled Minato and wore a simple white outfit with green trims and a hood, with a sword strapped around his waist. Sasuke Uchiha, heir of the Uchiha clan, did not wish to assume clan leadership. His Mangekyo Sharingan resembled a star within a larger star, with a black center. He could manifest a skeletal Susanoo for extended periods, while Sarin could sustain hers only briefly. Sasuke had black eyes and blue-tinted black hair, spiky in the back, with chin-length bangs framing his face. His outfit consisted of a navy blue, short-sleeved shirt with a high collar, the Uchiha crest on the back, and white arm warmers. The brief sparring session ended quickly with Team Itachi prevailing, prompting groans from the other Junon, impressed by their strength. Minato addressed the group. The Chunin exams are approaching. All villages will be watching, so demonstrate the skill and determination of Konoha's ninja. Now, let's head out to eat. My treat. The Junons resolved to showcase their abilities grew stronger. On the day of the Chunin exams, Menma, Sasuke, Sarin, Mina, Mito, and Sakura approached the village entrance to assess potential opponents. Perched on a tree was a short redhead in a full black bodysuit with a brown gourd on her back, Gaara, the one-tailed Jinchuriki. A girl with sandy blonde hair and 4 ponytails and teal eyes stood nearby, Tamari. She wore a light purple off-shoulder outfit extending to mid-thigh, a scarlet sash around her waist, and carried a giant fan. A boy with face paint, Kankuro, Gaara's brother, wore a black baggy bodysuit with a red and yellow emblem, a hood with cat-like ears, and a forehead protector. He held Konohamaru Sarutobi, the third Hokage's grandson, who had short spiky brown hair and black eyes, wrapped in a long scarf. Mina swiftly rescued Konohamaru and returned to the group. He cheered for his friend's arrival. Mito addressed the Suna ninja, "Why were you holding the third Hokage's grandson?" Gaara, jumping down, replied, "Please excuse my brother, he's just too eager for the exams." The groups exchanged names despite already knowing each other as the Kazekage's children, with Gaara being a Jinchuriki. A voice from the tree announced, "Since everyone else is introducing themselves, my name is Naruko Uchiha." The group tensed, surprised at the unusually strong chakra presence. Naruko wore a black cloak with red clouds, indicating her independence as a Ronin ninja. Her eyes were striking, one fully matured Sharingan, the other a Mangekyo Sharingan shaped like a 6-pronged shuriken. Flashback. It had been weeks since Naruko arrived at Uzushio. She was making her way toward the village's water source, hoping to catch some fish, when she noticed someone approaching from the distance. The sight of a black cloak patterned with red clouds made her tense. Instinctively, she turned to leave, but suddenly, an unseen force pulled her gently toward the mysterious visitor. A spark of determination lit in her eyes. "I'm not backing down without a challenge," she thought. Her body halted, and she faced the Akatsuki member. Naruko's gaze sharpened as she recognized Pain, Nagato's favored path. "How did you find me here?" she asked, drawing in chakra to steady herself. Pain's voice was calm, almost detached. "This was my home before it changed. I am an Uzumaki as well. I sensed someone's chakra here, so I followed it. And now, I have found you." Naruko took a deep breath, her confidence unwavering, and called out a jutsu, "Fire Release, Great Fireball." She propelled it forward, hoping to create a distraction while she thought of her next move. To her surprise, the fireball struck an invisible barrier between her and Pain, dissipating harmlessly. "Tell me, why are you here?" Pain asked, as if nothing had happened. Naruko decided honesty was best. "I'm an Uzumaki too." Pain's expression remained calm, yet a faint curiosity showed. "I was informed by Obito that you had escaped his hold. I am not surprised to see you here. Are you simply here to talk, or is there another purpose for your visit?" Naruko asked boldly. "Zetsu shared details of your abilities and your heritage," Pain replied. "I realize that you and I share more than just ancestry. We are both orphans, trained by influential mentors. I've been searching for you ever since Zetsu told me about you. I am intrigued that you chose this place as your refuge." Naruko's eyes narrowed. "Why were you seeking me?" For the first time, Pain showed a hint of expression, a slight smile forming. "I wanted to offer you a chance to join Akatsuki," he said, extending a small Akatsuki cloak. Naruko's eyes widened in surprise. "And if I decline?" she asked, steadying her voice. Pain's expression was calm but firm. "Then you will face a serious challenge today." "I'm not easily discouraged," Naruko declared, vanishing in a puff of smoke. Pain observed, unfazed, as the ground beneath him shifted. Lightning chakra sparked around Naruko's hand as she attempted a daring maneuver. Yet even with her skill, a tongue-like appendage restrained her, guiding her attention to a giant chameleon nearby. Pain raised a black rod, aiming it precisely at her. Universal pull. He announced, directing the summon to draw her closer. Is this it? Naruko thought, steadying herself. Within her mind, Asura meditated calmly, reflecting on past experiences and observing flashes of strategy, hinting that an advantage was near. Her right eye began to transform, taking the shape of a six-pronged shuriken with a single tomoe at the top and bottom. Her left eye remained unchanged. Amaterasu, Naruko whispered, channeling a tremendous amount of chakra into her attack. The black flames flared, forcing Pain and the animal path to leap aside to avoid being caught. Naruko landed heavily but remained determined to continue. Her right eye felt strained, but her resolve did not waver. Naruko, consider the offer. Learning about them might give you insight for the future, Asura suggested within her mind. She groaned, imagining the prospect of facing Obito again. Wait, Naruko said, noticing Pain raising his hands again. I'll join, she sighed in reluctant acceptance as Pain's slight smile confirmed her decision. You may stay here after you accompany me to meet the others, Pain said, handing her the Akatsuki cloak. End of flashback. That night, Naruko discovered that she had unlocked a new stage of the Sharingan. The person Pain assigned to guide her in mastering it was the renowned Sin Uchiha. Naruko was hesitant about the idea of being trained by someone with such a formidable reputation. Asura reassured her that Sin was an exceptionally skilled ninja, and she would learn a great deal under her guidance. Naruko had come to Konoha for two reasons. Pain had given her a mission. Intelligence from Sasori's contacts suggested that Orochimaru was planning something in Konoha, and Pain wanted to ensure that whatever was happening would not endanger the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. The second reason was personal. She wanted to visit her sister, which she considered a bonus. When Naruko introduced herself to a group of ninjas, they were intrigued by the Uchiha part of her name. Saren's eyes narrowed at the mention of Naruko, recalling her older brother speaking of a twin sibling she had never met. This coincidence felt unusual, almost uncanny. The others speculated that Naruko might be one of the Uchiha whose parents had left following the Uchiha incident. It was also strange that she possessed only one Mangekyo Sharingan. You must be very strong if I couldn't sense your chakra behind us, Menma observed. I'd like to think so, Naruko replied confidently. She gracefully descended from the tree and began walking toward the building. I wonder if she's here for the Chunin exams too, Sakura remarked. I've never met a Genin Ronin before. We should head that way as well, Sasuke added. They all nodded and made their way toward the exam site. Inside the building, Naruko carefully avoided a subtle genjutsu placed over one of the doors. She noticed other Genin chatting excitedly, each boasting about how fun it would be to pass the Chunin exams. Listening in, a small, mischievous smile appeared on Naruko's face. This will be an interesting challenge, she thought, though Asura reminded her to stay focused on the task and not create unnecessary trouble. Once all the Genin were seated, a puff of smoke appeared at the front of the room. A man with a scarred face and a black trench coat called out, I am Iviki Morino, the instructor for the first round of the exams. Please find the seat with your name and sit down immediately. The Genin hurried to their seats, eager to begin. Naruko was the last to find hers, taking 30 seconds as others watched curiously. Some were intimidated by her unique eye, recognizing it as the Uchiha clan's legendary Sharingan, though they wondered why she wore a blank headband. Naruko sat between Menma Uzumaki Namikaze and Sasuke Uchiha. Kurama and Indra, Asura whispered, astonished. Little sister Asura, Sasuke heard Indra's voice in her thoughts, tinged with regret. Asura, Menma exclaimed softly, surprised. Sasuke activated her Mangekyo Sharingan, prompting a spark of friendly competition in Naruko. She gained Menma and Sasuke's attention and extended her fist, which they bumped in silent camaraderie. With their hands resting on their laps, they faced the front as Iviki began explaining the exam format. Suddenly, the trio found themselves on a vast, white plain. Behind Naruko stood Asura, observing the others attentively. Behind Sasuke was Indra Otsutsuki, Asura's elder brother, with short brown hair and two locks framing her face, dressed in a high-collared, light-colored kimono adorned with magatama along the collar. Behind Menma was Kurama, the Kyuubi, a giant fox with 9 flowing tails. Indra and Kurama were already acquainted, having spent time together in the same village and forming a close bond. Asura and Naruko faced Indra and Sasuke. Indra, Asura spoke, her voice carrying both emotion and determination. Dear YouTube family. This is all for now. If you enjoyed this journey, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Your support makes all the difference. Stay curious, keep dreaming, and remember, Every anime adventure begins with a single click. Thank you. Warm regards. Anime Dreams.